What is up? It's the Splice guy. What's going on in the virtual world? Today's review is going to be a beloved family film. But is it really a film that's worthy of being beloved? Or does it have its faults that people just overlook because they just believe it's so good? Let's dive straight into this. This is Bean, the ultimate disaster movie.
So instantly we start the film with Mr. Bean being, well, Mr. Bean. He shaved his entire face, including forehead and tongue, grunting and making sounds that he came to make a trademark that got him a huge platform across the entire world. This entire intro was rehashed from a TV show that Atkinson did in the 80s called Canned Laughter, in which his character had a lot of traits of Mr. Bean. And then we cut to members of a board discussing how they want to fire Mr. Bean because he's the worst employee in the history of the art gallery.
Hang on. Just hang on. From the looks of him, he's just a cleaner. So, how can he be the worst employee in the world? Did he wax the floor too much? Did he not wash the toilets good enough? Did he not refill the toilet paper? What makes him the world's worst employer?
But the owner of the gallery doesn't want to give Beanie the sack, so he says no. And they're all planning for someone important to go to America, to the Grayson Gallery, to sort out some artwork of Whistler's mother. So they decide to use Bean just to get rid of him.
So he's the worst employee in the world, but because the boss doesn't want him gone, they decide that they should send him to America, but isn't that risking their reputation? So when he fucks up, and we know he's gonna fuck up, because hell, it's Mr. Bean, he's gonna fuck it up. So when he fucks up, isn't that going to make them look bad? So in their attempts to get rid of Beanie, they would rather risk... I don't know.
So we join Peter McNichol's family as he's discussing Bean coming to stay with them. And strangely, he says this.
Okay, so he's going to look like Meatloaf's butt.
Yeah, and that's if we get lucky.
Hey, what's wrong with Meatloaf's butt?
Oh.
What? I have nothing to say about that. Just I have nothing to say. Oh God, a child who likes Meatloaf's butt. Okay. That's a really weird response.
So we get to the airport in America, and this is pre-9/11, and the security seemed pretty serious. I mean, he could have just been scratching his chest. But, being Bean, he decides he's going to run. Why? What are we teaching the kids here? The police come to see what's going on, and the best option is to just run? And of course, Bean has a finger gun. He ran from the police, risked getting shot, risked a huge incident in the airport, but in Bean's world, there is no consequences to his actions. So we cut to a police interrogation, where the cop asks the first legit question, and gives a very legit answer.
Are you presently on any kind of medication?
Not that I know of.
Well, you can certainly use some.
That is very correct, Mr. Officer. Very correct. That is the most accurate thing ever said about Mr. Bean. And I hope you say something else again.
So Bean is being introduced to Peter McNichol's family. And strangely, Bean gives a sexy wave to his wife. What the actual fuck? But anyway, Peter takes him to the Grayson Gallery, where he goes to wash his hands, and after using the bathroom, well, this happens. Now this has happened to all men at some point in our life, and we've just easily and pretty sneakily used the hand dryer without our hands there. But Bean, that's a bit too simple for him. He has to, hump the fucking dryer.
family film, guys. A kid's movie. A man humping an airdryer. Love it, kids.
So cut to later in the film, Peter's wife leaves to her mother's house because Peter brought Bean back to the house. It isn't hard to see why she wouldn't want a freak like him there.
So Peter's wife's leaving him, and are we going to mope and be depressed? The guy's got 2 kids with her. Are we going to be depressed? Nope, we got to take Mr. Bean out. After all, it is his film.
So he takes Bean to a carnival, whatever you guys call it in America, and they go on the ride called the Ride of Doom. It's frightening. But we've seen Bean on a roller coaster, and it didn't bother him before. So of course, this ride doesn't bother him either. Then, when Bean sees the control room, he decides he's going to go and rework the machinery.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Again, just hold on. Does this place not have any cameras? What, is it 1804? I mean, are we in the Dark Ages? Is this before the ingenious invention of, you know, cameras? I mean, gee, the guy can just walk into the control room, take his screwdriver out his pocket, start fucking with the machinery. Nobody knows nothing. Yeah, I'm really sure about that. But anyway, after he's fucked with the machinery, he warns Peter McNichols.
Brace yourself.
One of my biggest questions here has to be, why are people flipping out of the seat? Peter clearly shows that the ride had seatbelts. Look! But, ooh, people are being rebels. And of course, death could have happened. But Bean's just loving it. I swear to God, Ted Bundy's got nothing on Mr. Bean. Once again, he ends up in a police interrogation, where he starts acting like, well, what else can be said? He's acting like Mr. Bean. To which the cop asks one perfectly good question and one perfectly accurate statement.
He's a genius, huh? Well, he looks like a fruitcake to me.
But they just let him away. Again. There's no charges. Nothing. What the actual fuck? But straight after this scene, Peter's boss comes round for dinner and they have only one thing in. A turkey. You know, that takes a long time to cook. No, it doesn't. Not for Mr. Bean. Let's microwave this bitch.
You know something? Ted Bundy does not have shit on Mr. Bean. I mean, you know, it's not like Mr. Bean hasn't tried to kill anybody before. I mean, you know, you've got, in the TV show, you got the guy who fucking had a cardiac arrest or a heart attack, and he attached jump leads to the street lamp and electrocuted the damn guy, brought him back, and then shook his hand and caused the lamppost to explode. He killed the guy. So there's one. He's always trying to kill the guy that's driving the blue fucking Reliant Robin. So there's many counts of murder there. He tried attacking a guy in a club for dancing with his girlfriend. He's got changed while he's driving. There's 4 things. Reckless driving. He didn't care if he hit anybody. And then you've got when he was in the school and he was mixing all the chemicals up. And then the little kid comes in and everything's shaking and bubbling. He leaves the room and shuts the door. He doesn't know what's going to happen. Them chemicals could have blown the whole school up. That could have killed the kid. Ted Bundy does not have nothing on Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean is the serial killer of the century.
After everything I've just said, look at the bang.
Everything must be just so.
So, after 34 minutes, he finally asks if Bean is actually a doctor and if he actually knows anything about art. Like, holy shit. The guy's been arrested 2 fucking times. He acts like a pure jackass, and it took 34 minutes of a film for you to ask. But if this was real life, it would have been more than a few fucking days before he's actually asked him. Any bullshit that has happened and is gonna happen is due to your own fault for not just asking after the first time you got him out of jail. Then we have a little song part with the song Yesterday playing in the background. But hang on, please, because this bit is messed up. How did he not know he was in there? Like, how the hell? As they're fighting in the shower, you can clearly see the both of them in there. So how did he not see? Maybe his wife left him because she knew he was attracted to the bean.
What? Just why? He even looked around first. He's like, make sure nobody sees him pulling the shower door so he gets in there with Mr. Bean. Yeah, because a gay moment in a children's film, don't worry, the kids won't understand, so that's perfectly fine.
If Peter needs any more proof that Bean isn't going to be the saviour of his career, then this moment should have shown it.
What do you think? Nice frame.
And knowing how stupid he is, and how he fucks nearly everything up, you leave him alone with the most expensive painting in the world. Because nothing could possibly go wrong, right? So really, you shouldn't be surprised that something bad happened. But of course, he has so much faith that Bean couldn't mess this up until he sees what actually happens.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus! God! Oh, Mary, Mother of Jesus! Jesus of Nazareth!
It's okay, buddy. Calm down. Take a breath.
Okay. Give me one more look at the painting. God!
They have cameras in there as well, and they can hide the painting inside the wall. So how does the security guard not know that he didn't steal the painting and just close the display? Would it have been worth just, rewinding the tape just to make sure? So they go out drinking and they get drunk and head home. And Bean decides that he wants to help and change the painting for a poster. But he figures out in the most creepy way.
Oh, if you still can't sleep, come to my room. I got some great posters of Cindy Crawford on my wall.
So he gets his arsenal ready to break into the gallery and change the painting into a poster. But I have another killer moment. Couldn't he have overdosed this guard? He then quickly swaps the painting for a poster and then locks it back up. Then, in the morning, we see Peter's daughter going out on a motorbike, and her dad telling her not to go on the death trap. Yeah, because this isn't going to end up in the storyline. Then they drive to the gallery for the big reveal, and of course, it's all fine, everyone's happy, and Beanie even gives a speech that makes everyone give a standing ovation. But the police grab Peter to tell him that his daughter has had an accident on a motorbike. No shit! You willed that shit just by saying it! So as they're speeding to get to the hospital, the cops see a robbery, and they have to stop.
Put it down. Put the gun down.
So, we're at the hospital and Peter ditches Bean. And of course, Bean gets confused for being a doctor. And surprise, surprise, look who his patient is.
What are the chances of that? They just happen to leave him alone in the room with the cop that's dissed him twice and has just been shot. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, doctors and nurses, you know, wouldn't leave a victim that's just been shot, you know, dying on the OR table. But hey ho.
Bean then saves the cop's life by removing the bullet with his bare hands. God, thy name is Bean. He then gets confused by Peter as being a doctor, and he tries to bring his daughter out of a coma by scaring her, by shouting at her, by shaking her, even by saying breakfast is ready.
Yeah, because trying to wake someone up from a coma like that is exactly the same as trying to make a deaf person hear like this.
I want you to hear me, okay? Shazam! Can you hear me?
Anyway, he uses the shock paddles, puts them together, sends it flying across the room, landing on Peter's daughter, waking her up out of a coma, once again. God, thy name is Bean. Then they find out he is the doctor, and he asks if he can stay for another week. And then we'll see a montage of him being taken to sightseeing sites. Peter takes him to the airport and they hug goodbye. And when we get back to the UK, we see that Bean has the original painting of Whistler's mother. How did he get it back?
Now, I'm not saying that I know the international shipping laws, but I'm sure at some point from America to England, I'm sure at some point somebody at customs would have gone, what the hell is this?
But that's the end of the film, guys. Is it that bad? Apart from the fact that I truly believe that Bean is a serial killer. It isn't that bad of a movie. It has its flaws just like everything else. But it's a classic. Out of 10, I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
So hey guys, thank you for watching the review and keep your eyes peeled for the next one. Peace out.